Wilson.
Hey, Teyonah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. So obviously everybody's waiting for you to play this role. Let's start from the beginning. Was this something that they came to you for, or did you audition for it?
I definitely auditioned. I'm not actually sure how it ever got to me. They brought it, somebody brought it to me, but I definitely auditioned. I put myself on tape and then I forgot about it because that's just how it goes. And then a couple weeks later, I had heard that I booked a role. I was like, what role? My agent was like, from the Marvel. I'm like, what Marvel? And she's like, the tape you did. I'm like, wait a minute now, wait a minute. So I had to remember, because when I was doing the audition, I did not understand the sides. And so I was quite frustrated by that, because as you've seen, if you've seen the first couple of episodes, they used dummy sides that were from those first couple of episodes, which are particular to the sitcom world. And so I'm like, I don't understand how this is Marvel, but okay. And so then once it was all explained to me, and then the question I had was, okay, well, who am I? What am I doing? What is the part? And then they said it was Monica Rambeau, the young woman we met in Captain Marvel, and I would be carrying her story on as an adult. And so that's pretty much my story.
So obviously when you now know you're playing Monica Rambeau, the question goes, did you know who she was, or did you have to quickly brush up and read the comics and watch the film?
I knew who she was because years before, fans were fan casting me on Twitter. And so they were tagging me like, oh, you'd be an awesome Monica Rambeau. And I'm like, who is that? So I didn't at that time, a couple of years before. And then I did a little bit of research and I was like, oh, she's pretty darn cool. Okay. Probably would never happen, but thanks, guys. And so then fast forward to actually booking it. And I was like, oh, wow, they really claimed that and put that in the universe for me, and it's happened. And so then I got out the comics and I started reading the comics, and I'm still reading the comics. Monica has had such a long, very extensive history in the comics. And so just trying to mine through all of that and her relationships and her different titles and where she's held rank and who she's worked with has definitely been a journey that I am still very much on. So yeah, that was a part of my prep for the role. And obviously seeing what Akira Akbar, what she portrayed for young Monica in Captain Marvel, and just with her curiosity and the ambition she had for Monica, I was like, I think that can track and show up in grown Monica. And not only that, but the relationships that young Monica had, like with her mother, Maria Rambeau, played by Lashana Lynch, and Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. So what those relationships were for young Monica and how they could track and show up now, the effects of those relationships, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Now, how is the tone? Is the tone to be different from the TV series to the film? Obviously, you haven't shot the film yet. You know, what can you tell us about the Monica or the Geraldine that we see in WandaVision?
I can tell you that the Monica you meet in WandaVision definitely, we will get to learn what has been happening for her during those years that we missed, from where she was a young girl to now. So the show does go into what her life has been and how she's been since we last saw her. As far as Monica in Captain Marvel 2, I have no clue. Sorry.
The only thing we could tell is that at least you'll be working again with Nia, which is a good thing. And obviously you guys already have a relationship coming out of Candyman, so how exciting was it that obviously when you went out for WandaVision, you didn't know you would be cast in Captain Marvel 2, or did you?
No, I did not know I would be cast in Captain Marvel 2. And the fact that I get to team up with Nia DaCosta again after we've been, gotten to work together on Candyman, is amazing. She's so smart. She's just a really sweet woman and dope and really brilliant at what she does. And so I'm really excited to get the opportunity to work with her on something like Captain Marvel 2. And it's really special. She's going to be the first Black female director in the MCU, and I get to be a part of her film, and we get to work together and create, and that's really exciting. And also getting to, it was announced that Monica Rambeau will be with Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, and Ms. Marvel, Iman, and Bree. So that's really exciting. I'm ready for the ride. I'm ready.
Now, you've been working for a number of years. Obviously, I've seen you in Survivor's Remorse. I see you in Chirac, and obviously the other projects you've done. But this will take you to another level, bigger, wider audience. What does that say for you in your career? Obviously, that people are going to look at you and now know you. Oh, that's the girl that plays Monica Rambeau. I remember her from that Showtime series, the Star series. But this will take on a different take. And as you mentioned, one of the few Black characters in the MCU.
It's really an honor to get to step into the shoes of Monica Rambeau. She means so much to so many people. Like I said, she's had such a long legacy in history in the comics that I'm excited to bring her to the MCU. And already, the show WandaVision hasn't even come out, and I do have fans, just saying what it means to them to have this representation of a Black woman in this superhero world. And I'm honored. I'm really, truly honored. And I don't know what that means for next step or anything like that. Because honestly, this whole process has been, you imagine one thing, but I think if this last year has shown us anything at all, is that anything is possible, and you just have to adjust. Typically we would be in person, getting to talk about the show and having each other's energy flow in real time, in real space. So it's all been very different. Even I imagine, getting ready for the role, I would be Captain Marvel 2 announced I would be in a gym with bodybuilders who are pushing 250 pounds. And I'm like, yeah, I'm up next. That's not going to happen. We're in the middle of a global pandemic. So figuring out how to readjust my expectations and still be just to be flexible, to be mindful and flexible has definitely been a lesson I've learned this year, and that I will have to keep as I move forward.
All of the actors that have played accountable characters have to work out physically in some form or another. Did you have to do that for this series?
I mean, I guess I didn't have to. No one said anything, but I did. I was working out, I posted it on Instagram and stuff, trying to show people my little workout, my shake weights. I'm kidding. I don't have any shake weights, but I'm trying.
Obviously, and I'm sure you're going to do other projects. What goes into saying yes to the projects that you're taking?
Throughout my career, I have always really tried to be mindful of the roles and the characters that I take. And I enjoy telling stories that have something to say. I enjoy telling stories that dive deep into the human nature and emotional, mental states. And I like messiness. While this show appears quite neat and very well put together, Wanda's world, it's very messy. And I think that's revealed very early on, that it is some stuff happening that we are not quite able to put our finger on. And it's actually quite messy. So in a great way, the way we like to see train wrecks and things like that of human nature happen. So sorry, Wilson, I lost what I was saying.
Either way, I think people are excited to see the series. They're excited to see you in it. Obviously, you have your fan base. We followed you throughout your career. We're going to continue to do so. So all I can say is best of luck, and we'll keep seeing you on the big and small screen.
Thank you so much, Wilson. I appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
Bye.